Welcome back. In this module, we're going to explore Amazon Machine Images, AMIs. AMIs are a foundational concept in AWS, and understanding them is key to working with EC2 instances effectively. By the end of this session, you'll know what an AMI is, how it works, and why it's so important in the AWS ecosystem. Let's dive in. Let's start with the basics. What is an AMI? Think of it like this. Imagine you're about to build a house. You wouldn't start from raw materials, right? You'd probably use prefabricated components, maybe a foundation plan, or even a pre-built section. An AMI is similar. An Amazon Machine Image, AMI, is a template that contains the information required to launch an EC2 instance. Think of it as a snapshot of a virtual machine that includes the operating system, application server, and any additional software or configurations. Here's what an AMI includes. Operating system. The base OS, such as Amazon Linux, Ubuntu, or Windows Server. Application software. Any pre-installed software, like web servers or databases. Configuration settings. Custom settings, such as security configurations or network settings. Permissions. Controls over who can use the AMI to launch instances. For example, if you're running a web application, you might create an AMI that includes your OS, web server software, and application code. This allows you to quickly launch new instances with everything pre-configured. Now let's take a closer look at how AMIs work. When you launch an EC2 instance, you select an AMI as the starting point. AWS uses the AMI to create a copy of the template, which becomes the root volume for your instance. Here's the process. Select an AMI. Choose an AMI from the AWS Marketplace, your own custom AMIs, or public AMIs provided by AWS. Launch an instance. Use the AMI to launch an EC2 instance. AWS creates a copy of the AMI and uses it to provision the instance. Customize the instance. Once the instance is running, you can further customize it by installing additional software or making configuration changes. For example, if you're running a fleet of web servers, you might create a custom AMI with your web server software and application code. This allows you to quickly launch new instances that are ready to serve traffic. Now that we understand what an AMI is and how it works, let's explore why AMIs are so important. Consistency. AMIs ensure that every instance you launch is consistent and configured exactly the way you need it. This is crucial for maintaining reliability and reducing errors in your environment. Speed. By using an AMI, you can launch new instances in minutes rather than spending hours configuring them from scratch. This is especially useful for scaling applications or recovering from failures. Automation. AMIs enable automation by allowing you to programmatically launch instances with predefined configurations. This is essential for DevOps practices like continuous integration and continuous deployment, CI/CD. Disaster recovery. AMIs can be used as part of your disaster recovery strategy. By regularly creating AMIs of your critical instances, you can quickly restore your environment in case of failure. For example, if you're running a production database, you might create an AMI of the database server. If the server fails, you can quickly launch a new instance from the AMI and restore your database. Let's explore the types of AMIs available in AWS. Public AMIs. These are provided by AWS or the community and are available to all users. They include popular operating systems and software stacks. Private AMIs. These are AMIs that you create and share with specific AWS accounts. They're ideal for internal use within your organization. Marketplace AMIs. These are AMIs provided by third-party vendors and available for purchase in the AWS Marketplace. They often include specialized software or configurations. Custom AMIs. These are AMIs that you create from your own instances. They allow you to save and reuse your custom configurations and software. For example, if you're running a custom application, you might create a custom AMI that includes your application code and dependencies. This allows you to quickly launch new instances that are ready to run your application. To get the most out of AMIs, here are some best practices to keep in mind. Regularly update AMIs. Keep your AMIs up to date with the latest software patches and configurations. This ensures that your instances are secure and performant. Use versioning. When creating custom AMIs, use versioning to track changes. This allows you to roll back to a previous version if needed. Automate AMI creation. Use tools like AWS Systems Manager or custom scripts to automate the creation of AMIs. This ensures consistency and reduces manual effort. Secure your AMIs. Use IAM policies to control who can create, share, and launch AMIs. This helps prevent unauthorized access to your AMIs. Let's do a quick recap. An AMI is a template that contains the information required to launch an EC2 instance, including the OS, software, and configurations. AMIs are important for consistency, speed, automation, and disaster recovery. Types of AMIs include public, private, marketplace, and custom AMIs. Follow best practices like regularly updating AMIs, using versioning, automating AMI creation, and securing your AMIs. That's it for this lesson. See you in the next lesson.